Good morning and welcome to the Morning Expresso by the Indian Express. My name is Rahil Philippos and here is today's big story. Without naming the Taliban or placing onus on them for the situation in Afghanistan, the leaders of the BRICS expressed concern over the latest developments there and called for refraining from violence and settling the situation by peaceful means. The New Delhi declaration that followed the BRICS summit said leaders stressed on the need for an inclusive intra-Afghan dialogue. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shakti Kanta Das told the Indian Express that the current quarter will be better than the previous, expressing optimism about recovery in the COVID-hit economy. Sticking to the 9.5% growth projection of 2021 to 22, the governor said there was no evidence that asset prices and to some extent the current high stock prices were influenced by excess liquidity. Kotak Mahindra MD and CEO Uday Kotak said the government has the space to step up spending over the next few months and the financial sector is much stronger now to support economic recovery. Here are our top stories from the front page. Ford Motor Company, one of the first global car makers to enter the Indian market post-liberalization in 91, has decided to end manufacturing operations in the country. The American company said it had accumulated losses worth over $2 billion in the last 10 years and joins a growing list of global vehicle makers that have stopped operations in India, the world's fourth largest automobile market in the last 5 years. The Indian Institutes of Technology are building a reputation as excellent business schools as well, with 6 IITs figuring in the list of 20 best management colleges in India as per the latest NIRF survey. Of the country's 23 IITs, only 7 offer a master's in management. And now here are our must-read stories. 8 years after security personnel gunned down 8 persons including 4 minors in the Bijapur district of Chhattisgarh, a recent judicial inquiry report has found that none of those killed were Maoists. This of course was what was alleged at the time of the incident. The report said the security personnel may have opened fire in a moment of panic. A Hercules C-130J IAF plane carrying Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Roadways Minister Nitin Gadkari and Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat conducted a mock emergency landing on the Sata-Gandhav stretch of the National Highway 925 in Barmer, Rajasthan. The stretch, which will serve as an emergency landing strip for the Indian Air Force, was inaugurated by the 2 union ministers on Thursday. In the midst of a hung verdict and with both the BJP and the Congress vying for power, 4 newly elected JDS councillors have now been sheltered in Bengaluru by party leaders over fears of being poached by the 2 parties. The councillors who arrived in Bengaluru on September 8th were seen sheltered at former CM H.D. Kumaraswamy's farmhouse located just outside Bengaluru, as well as the residence of JDS Supremo H.D. Deve Gowda. Fanning the growing Islamophobia amongst Christians in Kerala, a Catholic bishop said that there is an organized narcotics jihad targeting non-Muslims. In a recent sermon, Palai Bishop Joseph Kalarangat claimed that there are 2 types of jihad, love jihad and narcotics jihad. The failure of Chandrayaan-2, India's second mission to the moon to make a soft landing on the lunar surface, had led to much disappointment. But that does not mean that the entire mission had been wasted. The orbiter part of the mission has been functioning normally, and in the last 2 years, the various instruments on board have been able to gather a wealth of information that has expanded our understanding of the moon and its environment. We break down the data it has gathered till now. Without naming Taliban or placing onus on the militant group for the situation in Afghanistan, the leaders of BRICS expressed concern over the latest developments there and called for refraining from violence and settling the situation by peaceful means. The New Delhi declaration that followed the BRICS summit said leaders stressed on the need for an inclusive intra-Afghan dialogue.